Happy Halloween.
This is Keep On Cooking, a podcast for people who love cookbooks and want to know more about the authors. It's also a great place to get a weekly dose of culinary inspiration to keep things pumping in the kitchen. So grab a cookbook and keep on cooking. I'm Dustin Harder, and this is Keep On Cooking. Hello and welcome to Keep On Cooking, the only podcast dedicated to plant-based cookbooks. I'm your host, Dustin Harder, and welcome to the Halloween special, where the tricks are cheap, the treats are questionable, and I'm serving looks scarier than my life choices. Heyo! If you're watching, my sweet little doggy is up on my couch behind me. That's Mr. Benson, and he's by some of our Halloween decorations right now. My favorite pillow is behind me with Ghostface Killer on it. It says, "No, you hang up first." So yeah, that's right. I'm dubbing this the Halloween special officially, and it's just me, a little solo effort today. And I started my solo deep dive into holiday books for you as the holiday seasoning, as the holiday seasoning, as the holiday season is holidaying all around us. And I thought for Halloween, since there isn't a Halloween specific cookbook, at least to my knowledge, I would take it upon myself to handpick 10 Halloween recipes from the internet just for you, all vegan. I've posted the links for those recipes in the show notes for you to enjoy. So feel free to click away and check the recipes out as you listen. And then I'm doing this a couple weeks before Halloween, so you have them there and you can make some recipes if you would like. So before we get to the goods, let's take a look at some recent releases in the vegan cookbook landscape, honeys. So I Love You, Recipes from the Heart, a cookbook by the one and only Pamela Anderson, has arrived, my darlings. October 15th, 2024. It just came out. Join actress, activist, and New York Times bestselling author Pamela Anderson on a deeply personal culinary journey that harmonizes style, compassion, and the pleasures of plant-based cooking. This cookbook began as a box of recipe cards, a housewarming gift for her sons, inspired by homegrown traditions and world travel, and it grew to become her gift to you, to us, showing how romantic, comforting, and indulgent it can be to cook only with vegetables. So this was released just this week, or last week on October 15th. And then we've got one coming out by Justine Doran. So Justine Cooks, a cookbook, recipes for finding of mostly plants for finding your way in the kitchen. This is coming out October 29th. Now, I had a couple books on here previously that were plant forward, and I've got another guest coming up where the book is plant forward. I'm using air quotes because what that means is that the book is not vegan, but that it celebrates plants and lots of vegan recipes. So I've gotten some like comments before where it's like, I want to support only vegan authors. And listen, do your thing, do you. If you don't want to buy the book or you don't want to listen to the episode, that's fine. But I do feel that these people have wonderful culinary expertise to contribute to the vegan landscape, and for whatever choice their book is plant forward as opposed to all plant-based. In my experience in looking at these books, I really don't like, there's an egg in a couple spots usually, maybe cheese in a couple spots, but that's really been the most of it. For the most part, it's like all mostly vegan. I almost feel like it's a way to get more people trying vegan recipes without feeling like they're buying just a vegan cookbook, which I obviously, again, everything, take the words from Miyoko Shinner, phenomenally vegan. I'm into it. Here we go. But for some people still, they're just like, well, I'm not gonna buy that all vegan cookbook. So it might be more comfortable for somebody to buy a mostly plant forward cookbook, when in reality, like I'd say 90% of the recipes are probably vegan. Now, I haven't seen this book yet. Let's hear about it. So it says, find and refine your cooking style through 110 approachable and innovative plant-forward recipes from popular blogger and social media storyteller Justine Doran. Justine Doran is known for her approachable, inventive cooking that surprises with its unexpected flavor and ingredient pairings, as well as her love of vegetables, beans, bread, and farmers markets. She is also known on social media for her funny, inspiring, validating stories about the ways we connect through food. Here she shares 110 plant-forward recipes for salads, snacks, vegetables, and tofu plus beans, breads, as well as things to eat on or with bread and dessert. That comes out October 29th, everybody. So that's a book to look forward to. Now, some fun facts. In honor of fun facts, which we're trying to do here every now and then, let's chat about trick or treating really quick, since it's the spooky Halloween episode. I was curious where that came from and did a little dig on the interwebs. So trick or treating traces its origins to ancient Celtic traditions like Samhain, I want to say that's how it's pronounced, where people would dress in costumes to ward off spirits. The modern version emerged in the US during the early 20th century, gaining popularity by the 1940s as part of Halloween celebrations. This made me think of the movie Trick or Treat, which I just watched maybe last Halloween or the Halloween before. A Halloween movie I had never watched, and David and I watched it, and it was actually quite good. It's a horror movie, quite good. I will say, everybody, trying to get into the Halloween spirit, which normally I've usually watched like 5 or 6 scary movies by now. And I have not yet. I tried to watch the 2018 Halloween movie, the Jamie Lee Curtis trilogy, the Halloweens that came out. I've seen that movie twice already, or maybe once in the theater. It was right before the pandemic. And there was a scene that was so gory in it for me that I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this off. So I think I'm getting old officially, and scary movies are like too much for me a little bit. So that happened, and I was kind of like, wow, I can't handle a scary movie. This is great. Awesome. Anywho, we were talking about trick-or-treating. So speaking of trick-or-treating, let's take a look. Before we get into these recipes, I'm giving you 10 recipes. Remember, 10 Halloween recipes that you can make right now for free in your home for your next Halloween party. But before we get into that, let's talk a little more about trick-or-treating. So let's take a look at a list of PETA-approved vegan Halloween candy. They do this list every year. So this is the updated 2024 list. I'll provide the link in the show notes as well, but let's go over it quickly here before we dive into some recipes. This is vegan Halloween candy as approved by PETA. So the first thing on the list, and I just saw these in New York 2 weeks ago. I actually bought David a bag of them. I say I bought them for David, but I had like 2 or 3 of them. It's the miniature plant-based Reese's peanut butter cups. Now, I don't know how everyone's feeling about these peanut butter cups these days. Listen, here's my story. Here's how I feel. This is my stance. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they have them. I'm glad they have the Reese's peanut butter cups plant-based variation available. But it still ain't like the original. Something's weird with that chocolate, y'all. It's thicker. It's like more. It's giving me like, I don't even know what to say. It's giving me like more milk chocolatey, but like not like in a way that I want. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyways, the minis are now available. You may have to order them online. I saw them because I purposely went into the Hershey store in New York when I was there, because we were passing by, and I was like, let me walk in there really quick to see if they got them. They also have, so while PETA is listing the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup minis, they also have the miniature Hershey bars that they do, which again, I'm okay with those. Like, here's the deal. I'll eat them. I'm not complaining. Thank you so much. You finally did the plant-based version. Do I think they're as good as the traditional version? No. And the reason I'm even bringing that up is because they can be. There's no reason they can't be. Like, that's weird to me that you have a bunch of people working at this company to create this for years and like it's not as good. Like, what's that about? Smarties is next on the list. That's a Halloween approved candy by PETA. We got Airheads next on the list. Love yourself a little zip zap zow of an Airhead. Actually used to love Airheads when I was a kid. Twizzlers, we all know that's on the list. Twizzlers for days. I personally don't love Twizzlers, but some people love them. Pixie Sticks vegan. Now, I do love me a Pixie Stick. Haven't had one in so many years, but I remember as a kid, I was like, you could not. It was like a drug. Well, candy is like a drug. So anyway. Okay, Sweet Tarts are vegan, which I love that because I do love me Sweet Tarts. Now, Red Vine's also vegan, so if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Red Vines. But I'm not really big on licorice at all. So this isn't like something I'm going to war for. Dots, also not big on those, but they're vegan apparently. Tootsie Roll Pops. Love me a good Tootsie Roll Pop. How many licks does it take? Dum Dums. Oh, and it's really cute in this little picture here that someone has wrapped them up like little pumpkins. So they wrapped the lollipop part in orange paper, orange like gift bag paper. and then they tied like a green little twisty tie around the top of it, and then the stick is sticking up. So it's like a little pumpkin. That's a cute little clever idea. Coco Mel's, love me a Coco Mel. Coco Mel, shout out to Coco Mel's. Enjoy Life Halloween chocolate minis. I also really enjoy Life. I'm not gonna lie. Their white chocolate chips, those are like crack to me. Go Max Go candy bars. I think I have had these once upon a time. They've got a Cleo one, that's Cleo's peanut butter cups, the Twofer candy bar, and the Joker's candy bar. Peanuts caramel and peanut nougat and chocolate coating. I can't read what the Twofer one is. Chico Stick is on the list. And then we've got Crybabies, extremely sour Crybaby bubble gum. Oh, I love a sour candy, y'all. Next one is another ball, the Atomic Fireball, so the Fireball candy. Surf Sweets, I don't really know. Surf Sweets Spooky Shapes. And then we've got Juji Fruits. You gotta say that fast or else it feels really weird. Juji Fruits. Again, not a fan. Now and Later's, kind of a fan. Like, I could take one now or I could take one later. You know what I'm saying? Zots. Oh, are those the ones with the? Oh, I love these. When the Zot is the candy that has the sour, like mixture in the middle. So when you suck on it and then it gets to the middle, it kind of like explodes in your mouth. I love me a Zots. Starbright's peppermint candies from Brock's. Those are vegan. I don't think anyone's going to be using those in. Yeah, here's a mint for that kid trick or treating. I think that'd be kind of like handing out an apple. You know what I'm saying? Okay, honey. So now we're moving on. That is the Halloween candy that you can have. That is vegan, just so everybody knows. We've covered it here on this very spooky Halloween special. Speaking of Halloween specials, are there any that you remember? I'm just curious. I'm thinking, so I already mentioned the Trick or Treat movie, which is a horror movie. Of course, I love the movie Scream. I love all the Scream movies. Love them all. Can't wait for number 7. Can't wait to see what Sidney Prescott's up to these days. As far as the drama with the actresses in part 5 and 6, and then, I'm just like, hey, I don't need to get involved in all this drama. I just want another one. And I'm always skeptical when they come out now. But I'm kind of like, let's see what happens. The thing is, they did the last one without Sydney. So like, why are we like all pressed that they're going to do a 7 without the 2 girls that were just in 5 and 6? Like 6 happened without Sydney. And like, the universe is making it be whatever it's supposed to be. Is what I'm saying. Let Scream be what it's supposed to be. So I'm very excited for part 7. I love a lot of horror movies, but I'm thinking Halloween special. So there's a Garfield Halloween special I used to like, and there's a Charlie Brown. Well, there's the Great Pumpkin Patch Charlie Brown. That's the one I'm thinking of. But there's also another Charlie Brown one where he goes to France. Is anyone recalling this? If you are, please pop into my DMs at Keep On Cooking Pod on Instagram and tell me what the Charlie Brown special is, where he's in a thunderstorm and he's in France at like a chateau. Help me out here. So that was your list of candy. That's some movies and Halloween special options for you. Talking about Halloween costumes next. My favorite costume I ever dressed up as. I just shared this when I was a guest on one of my favorite podcasts. The podcast is called The Ridiculist, where they go over a list every week of like very ridiculous things. And it's very funny, hosted by Sally Brooks and gosh, what is her name? Jen O'Neill. Just kidding. I really hope she's listening to this and heard me do that. Jen, I love you. So Sally and Jen come together and do these ridiculous lists, and they had me on. That was my second time back on. I love the podcast, but we talked about Halloween costumes. We did our list at the end, and my favorite one I ever dressed up was Jerry Blank from Strangers with Candy, and then also I dressed up as Britney Spears from the Baby One More Time era, one year when she was like 1999, and then I did it again in like 2005. Still did the Baby One More Time costume, but I was pregnant that time. Well, I mean, I was playing pregnant Britney essentially, but in the Baby One More Time costume. See? Anyway. Okay, so now we're going to move on to what you're all here for, which is some recipe talk, my babies. So I'm going to go over 10 recipes that I pulled from the internet for you. that are easy, approachable, fun Halloween recipes for you to make for a night in watching movies or to make for a party that you're having in the next couple of weeks. First one is Blueberry Rickety Eyeball Punch. So this punch is a spookified version of a classic Ricky. It's a refreshing drink for kids after trick or treating. Add some gin, and it won't be for kids, but you can add some gin, and it's equally refreshing after dark cocktail for adults. This recipe is clever because it uses lychee and blueberries to make eyeball ice cubes that you put into the drink. So the blueberry gets popped into the cavity of the lychee, and then you freeze it for a bit, and boom, looks like you have eyeballs floating in your glass. It's really cool. And the color of the beverage is actually sort of like a burgundy color. So that with the eyeballs is like really fun. And I'm going to put all pictures up of these and tag the blogs that they're on and everything on the Instagram post on Keep on Cooking, so you can see these pictures for yourself. Next, everyone loves pumpkin seeds. Every year, David and I used to love carving pumpkins, and this year we were going to do it, and then we were just like, oh, you get the pumpkins, and like you have to carve it. It's like a lot of work, right? So I think this year we're not doing it. He's very busy working on a show, and but we are gonna have some friends over. We're gonna watch Hocus Pocus, which I'm very excited about. But anyways, number 2 is air fryer pumpkin seeds. You can have crispy, salty pumpkin seeds ready in just 30 minutes thanks to the magical air fryer. They are delicious plain, but also great with your favorite seasonings. Ooh, yeah, think about different seasonings you could put on. Maybe some Old Bay, maybe some dill. Toss the seeds with a generous coating of chili powder or sumac, for instance, just before air frying them. Number 3, bloodberry fruit salad. So at first I was kind of like, okay, just berries. But then I saw the photo of this. And again, we're relying on that lychee. Stop relying on that lychee, honey. Instead of simple syrup, this fruit salad uses raspberry jam to coat and flavor the mixed fruits. It has just enough natural tartness to keep the fruit salad fresh, but that raspberry jam is giving that bloody look for the bloody berry fruit salad. For the eeriest appearance, let it sit for a few hours so the lychees can absorb the ruby glaze. So the lychees kind of look like eyeballs or body parts on there. It's I think probably a fun one to bring to the table. Number 4 is frosted vegan Halloween sugar cookies. So this is from Gretchen Price, author of Modern Vegan Baking and creator of the blog Gretchen's Vegan Bakery. This vegan sugar cookie recipe from Gretchen's Vegan Bakery delivers classic buttery cookies with a soft, chewy texture, perfect for cutting into shapes. Simple ingredients like vegan butter, sugar, and flour make these cookies ideal for decorating or enjoying plain, whether for the holidays or everyday treats. But listen, she gives you the perfect amount of frosting for these cookies and walks you through step by step. So there's no reason you're going to leave it unfrosted. I have an honorable mention because it was very hard to choose cookies. Same with cupcakes, though. I think I chose a good one for you. Honorable mention, so we're going to make it number like 4.5, is witch finger cookies. So these spooky vegan witch finger cookies from Detoxinista are a Halloween treat that combines almond flour and maple syrup for a deliciously crisp texture. Shaped like creepy fingers with almond nails and a touch of raspberry jam for a gory effect. We're really relying on that raspberry jam for Halloween, babes. They're both fun to make and eerily perfect for Halloween parties. So number 5, like I said, that was sort of I slid that cookie in there last minute. So I was 4.5, which takes us to 5, which is another variation of a vegan pumpkin sugar cookie. These vegan pumpkin sugar cookies from Minimalist Baker. So the last one's just a sugar cookie with frosting. This one is a pumpkin sugar cookie. Comes from Minimalist Baker. My friend Ashley and I call her Minimalist Dana. And anytime you want a recipe for something, chances are Minimalist Baker's done it already. I'm pretty sure she's designed her own sort of kale toilet paper at this point. Like, she really has created everything. Her website has everything you could ever want. But these vegan pumpkin sugar cookies are full of warm fall spices with pumpkin puree. This creates a soft melt in your mouth texture, lightly sweet and easy to make. They're perfect for cozy autumn days and can be topped with a simple glaze for an extra festive touch. I gotta say, chose this recipe because while I also said she's got so many recipes on her blog, they're all good. I've tried so much of her stuff. I'll cover her book at one point. She was she was a little polarizing at one point, and maybe still is, because everything was vegan on her site, and then she started adding chicken and stuff, and she had to put out a statement about it. But her one book that she did that came out is all vegan, and I used to cook from it a lot. So I think I'll do a solo episode on that and peel through that book for you because it's got some good recipes. In particular, there was a meatball in there I used to make all the time that I loved. Anyways, number 6, since candy corns are not vegan, I found you a vegan candy corn parfait, which actually sounds way more fun than candy corns. These candy corn parfaits from Veggie Fest Chicago website are a fun and festive vegan treat layered with vibrant colors that mimic classic candy corn made with coconut milk, sweet potato, fruit, and all natural sweeteners. They're a healthier, dairy-free dessert perfect for Halloween celebrations. Now, next, I had to choose from some cupcakes here because I could have just done a list of like the top 10 Halloween cupcakes, but I went with one that seemed really fun. But I encourage you, if this isn't your vibe, to just Google vegan Halloween cupcakes. You're going to get lots of fun options. These are Tombstone Cupcakes, spooky Tombstone Cupcakes from the Domestic Goddess. They are a deliciously dark Halloween treat featuring rich chocolate cupcakes topped with eerie edible tombstones decorated with black buttercream dirt. Buttercream, you gotta say it like you're on Great British Baking Show. Buttercream. Decorated with black buttercream dirt and cookie gravestones. They're perfect for adding a fun and haunting touch to any Halloween party. And I wanted to make sure we got you some savories in this batch. You know, maybe you're having a little Halloween dinner party. Maybe that's your vibe. So we've got number 8 is our Jack Skellington veggie pot pies. Super fun. Look at the picture of this on Instagram. It's the Jack Skellington face on the pot pie crust. It's so good. The Halloween Jack Skellington veggie pot pie from Holly Tree Kitchen is a savory plant-based dish featuring a flaky pie crust with a fun Jack Skellington face design. Filled with a hearty mix of vegetables and spices, it's a festive and comforting dinner perfect for Halloween gatherings. Keeping it still savory, maybe something else for your dinner party. Number 9, coming in at number 9 is the vegan jack-o'-lantern stuffed bell peppers. So these vegan jack-o'-lantern stuffed bell peppers from Daughter of Satan are a spooky, nutritious dish where carved peppers resemble glowing jack-o'-lanterns stuffed with a flavorful mix of quinoa, black beans, and vegetables. They make for a fun and festive Halloween meal that's both healthy and satisfying, which brings us to number 10 from the Keep On Cooking blog. I'm giving you the pecan pumpkin party bites with maple cream cheese glaze, my loves. These pecan pumpkin party bites are a deliciously portable treat, combining the warm, spiced essence of pumpkin with crunchy pecans for a satisfying texture. Finished with a decadent maple cream cheese glaze, they offer a sweet and creamy contrast that elevates these bites to the perfect party snack. But listen, true to form, I couldn't just leave you with that. I got one more for you. So it's a tie for number 10, okay? Because I just developed this recipe and I'm a little in love with it, but I also love those pumpkin party bites. So I had to share those with you. I'm going to give you the flourless pumpkin spice cake with maple glaze. Oh, I love this so much. This flourless pumpkin spice cake is a moist and flavorful dessert, perfectly capturing the essence of fall with its warm spices and rich pumpkin flavor, topped with a luscious maple glaze. It adds a delightful sweetness that complements the cake's natural richness, making it an irresistible treat for any occasion. I promise you, you can't say no to it. You can't say no to a second slice. You're going to want it. Those, my friends, are your top 10, 11, 12, top 10 Halloween recipes as recommended by moi, yours truly, on this year's 2024 Keep On Cooking Halloween special. Now, there are a lot of dips out there disguising themselves as Halloween recipes, like black bean dip dubbed as swamp dip, or butternut squash soup with some black garnish on it to make it all Halloweeny. But I honed in on some that I thought would be easy and bring the spooky fun to the party. So there are some other savory ones out there if you do want them, is kind of my point with that. There were lots of fun dips. I just kind of was like, yeah, but like, you feel me. I think you feel me on this. I think you feel me on like a pumpkin dip. Okay, like a pumpkin hummus. Like, oh, exciting. Anyway, that wraps up this spooky episode of Keep On Cooking. We hope you're feeling inspired to whip up some of these top 10 Halloween recipes, top 11, top 12, Whether you're entertaining ghoulish guests or just treating yourself, remember, cooking is all about creativity and fun, so don't be afraid to add your own twist to these dishes. Until next time, keep those cauldrons bubbling and your taste buds tingling. Keep on cooking, and remember, it's nice to be nice. Happy Halloween.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd be so grateful if you would rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to check out keeponcookin.com for all of the latest in recipes and Keep On Cooking updates. This has been a Muzzy Cat production.
Happy Halloween.